that has to do with the air. Now we are delving into the sea mode of transport. After 2011, September 2011, when the UN or the US was devastated by the Twin Tower attacks, the world has come to the realization that it may not be by only the air that attacks can come from terrorist groups. So there is the need to ensure that all the modes of transport are covered with regulations and safety measures. So the emphasis have moved from air to all the other modes. So therefore, every now and then we have issues to deal with the other modes. The international body in sea transport, the International Maritime Organization, that is the IMO, based in London. IMO received its name in 1982 after its predecessor IMCO, International Governmental Maritime Consultative Organization, which was the first ever international body devoted exclusively to maritime matters since 1948. From the very beginning, the improvement of maritime safety and the prevention of marine pollution have been IMO's most important objective. In order to achieve its objective, IMO has over the past decades promoted the adoption of some 40 conventions and protocols and adopted well over 700 codes and regulations concerning maritime safety, the Convention of Pollution, the prevention of pollution and related matters. Within IMO, the most senior committee is the MSC, which is Maritime Safety Committee. It is not the MSC that you see you go and release cargo from them on the Ahiadome building. No, this is a committee within the IMO, which is responsible for the improvement of maritime safety. So, Maritime Safety Committee also has a number of subcommittees. One of the committees is the Subcommittee on the Carriage of Dangerous Goods. So solid cargo and containers that can be carried. Now, as a further step towards meeting the needs of international rules governing the carriage of dangerous goods in ships, the International Conference on Safety of Life at Sea, held in 1960, laid down a general framework of provisions in Chapter 7 of the Convention and invited IMO to undertake a study with a view to establishing a united international code for the carriage of dangerous goods by sea. In 1965, the first edition of the code was completed by the working group approved by the Maritime Safety Committee and adopted by the Assembly of International Maritime Organization. The Assembly recommended the Imdg Code to governments for adoption or for use as the basis for national regulations. As far as contracting governments of the SOLAS Convention and the MAPO Convention is concerned, the contracting governments should implement the regulations of the Imdg Code in their national legislation in pursuance of their obligations under Chapter 7, Regulations 1.4 of the 1974 Solar Convention as amended, and Annex 3, Regulations 1, 3 of MAPO 73-78 as amended. Here, observance of the Imdg Code ensures compliance with the mandatory provisions of the Solar Convention and of Annex 3 of MAPO 73-78. When we talk about MAPO, we are talking about a country or a town where this convention was signed. The convention seeks to say that when it comes to the transport or the mode of maritime transport, we should not pollute the environment by discharging tank containers which are dirty sludges, that is the releases from um, oil particles and leftovers or dirty oil onto the surface of the water bodies. When this happens, they will cover the pore spaces where the mammals or marine life gain their oxygen or take their livelihood, and that can destroy the marine life. Sometimes when you go to some areas, you see a lot of fishes dying by the coast. It has to do with the fact that they have been starved of their livelihood. Sometimes oil spillage, sometimes bombs have been thrown into the sea, dynamite. When you go to the water region under the Sukakope Bridge or sometimes the Adomin Bridge, people who are desirous of fishing and want to make a lot of cash, they throw bomb or dynamite, mostly dynamite, and that is what has been destroying the bridges. So sometimes you realize that they have to divert the bridges from Sugakope through to Adomi to Ho. Sometimes you pass through Adomi before you go to Sugakope through Ho, Fume Road. Or sometimes they will close the Adomi Bridge and do a repair work. It's all because people are using unorthodox means of getting their fish. And when that happens, they have to shake the very foundation of the bridges just because they are using dangerous substances to get at the fishes. And when the fishes are rocked that way, or they use the dynamite, or they starve them of their livelihood, the breathing space, they actually would be seen floating and people will go and catch them and sell. So the world has decided that in order to save the marine life, they came into an agreement in Mapo in 73 that anybody who wants to discharge of any sludge or anything dirty or any pollutant from their vessels onto the sea should do that on the shore. So in our country, Ghana, we have companies that have been registered. When ships come, they will approach them, and if they have any of those dirty oil or sludges or tank containers that contain dirty oil or any oil that they want to dispose of, they'll give them to them and they'll go and dispose of them and they'll pay them in dollars. So in the Port of Tama, we have similar situations. And in 1978, this same regulation has been worked on again and upgraded. That's why we have 73/78. Yeah. So observations of the IMDG code ensures compliance with the mandatory provisions of the SOLAS Convention and of Annex 3 of MAPO 73/78.